The Prodigal Diaries, Proof of Concept by Ken Simmons. Who is Ken Simmons? A man called by God in 1969 to begin a great work in Florida. He had no money and no church behind him, nothing but faith. From those humble beginnings came a ripple effect felt across the world. Countless lives were changed, miracles unfolded, but turmoil at home would one day turn the preacher into a prodigal, a man running from God, searching for redemption. What happens when faith collides with the impossible? In California, his mother, Myra Simmons, lay dying in a hospital in Fontana, California. She had flatlined for 90 minutes. Doctors prepared to pronounce her dead, but Ken said no. He then prayed in the Spirit, and although he saw no changers in her, he refused to give up. He then drove home, but as he arrived, the phone rang. It was his younger brother, Les, shouting, "Ken, Mom's alive. She's coming home tomorrow." She did come home the following day, and she lived another 7 years before going home peacefully. At the Dove Christian Coffee House in Lakeland, addicts were healed and ex-cons transformed. Bill Davis, a bank robber, professional thief and burglar, a former cellmate with Charles Manson, and to top it off, a heroin addict, one Friday night walked into the coffee house, broken and without hope. But later that same evening, he walked out totally delivered, and he never looked back. Bill Davis was set free, and he's led tens of thousands to the Lord over the years. Many miracles occurred in that coffee house, including a teenage boy's deformed leg that was healed and grew out before the eyes of scoffing skeptics. One fled, screaming. The other fell to his knees in surrender. We were asked to share our stories in high schools throughout Central Florida, and literal miracles happened in those school assemblies. What would you do if you witnessed miracles with your own eyes? At a rock festival near Tampa, hundreds were baptized even as gunfire erupted between police and drug dealers. On another weekend on that same stage, a singer mocked God, screaming, "If God's so real, give us a sign." Immediately after saying, "Give us a sign," lightning struck within 10 feet of him. Thousands watched in terror as he ran off screaming into the woods. It was prophecy in Anaheim that declared Ken would be sent to start a great work. Weeks later in Lakeland, strangers confirmed the same vision. And in those visions, they were told he'd been sent by God to start a great work. And so the work grew, revival, healings, salvations, a movement that spread far beyond Florida, and it has had a ripple effect around the world. But what happens when the man who carried revival becomes the prodigal? Pride, failure, rebellion, a long journey into the wilderness. Can a man who once shook nations find his way back home? This is the testimony of Ken Simmons, the miracles, the rebellion, the redemption, the Prodigal Diaries. A story that proves God is never finished writing your story.